Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree, and I'm going to be doing your money, wealth, prosperity, finance, abundance reading for October 2019. Just getting my cards situated. I had some crystals sitting on the tin for my clarifying deck, my Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot. So I was just getting things in order. But if it's your first time catching one of my videos, I want to say thank you so much for choosing to spend this time with me. I do these readings each and every month, and I want to invite you to subscribe because I would love to share your money message with you. So we are going to get right into it. For today's reading, I'm using my Morgan Greer Tarot deck, and like I said, my Radiant Rider-Waite for clarifiers. And then I'm going to use my Halloween Oracle cards to close out your reading. So Taurus, I know a lot of you have been, it's interesting because a lot of you have been messaging me asking about 2020, which I find interesting. Like I said, that a lot of you are thinking about that right now. You know, and I think that's part of the Taurus nature. You know, they're always kind of thinking ahead. But let's go ahead and get right into it. And as you can see, cards are already starting to come out. So what do we need to know for the sign of Taurus as it relates to wealth, money, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of October 2019? What do we need to know for the sign of Taurus? All right, Taurus, I can feel your anxiousness. I can feel you're ready. You're ready for things to change, and you've been thinking about changes a lot too. So I just want to make sure we don't have anybody cut off here. Okay. You know what I'm feeling? I need one more card for you, Taurus. I'm just feeling like I do. What else do we need to know for the sign of Taurus as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of October 2019? Okay. Now, if you don't know, I do read jumper cards. So I believe that jumper cards are the cards that specifically want to communicate with us. So those are the cards that I choose to read. So as you can see, a lot is going on here, especially with the timing, Taurus. You know, things are going to, I'm feeling that things are moving. However, they're just not moving quick enough for you as it relates to your money. And that seems to be the typical story for a lot of us. A lot of us are ready, you know, we're ready to just kind of come into our fullness as it relates to our career and our business and our finances. However, sometimes things just take a little bit longer than what we think they should take, or how long we think they should take. We've got the Strength card upright. We have the Queen of Pentacles upright, Two of Swords upright. You're still thinking about a decision. You're still going back and forth on something. We have the Ten of Wands in reverse, Six of Swords upright, and then the Eight of Wands in reverse. This tells me, like I said, things are just moving a lot slower than what you would like. Now let's start over here. We have this Strength card in the upright position. Now this could be Leo energy, but I'm feeling more like this is an inner strength. Taurus, you've really been kind of exerting yourself in a way to where you've been really putting in a lot of work consistently, and now you're ready to kind of, it's almost like you want to pull back a little bit, okay? And I'm not saying like you don't want to work. It's just that now you're really relying on that internal knowing of that you've done everything you can do. You're ready for things to change. You're ready for things to happen, but you're not going to keep on, keeping on. I mean, there's only so much you can do as it relates to exerting so much energy. And I'm feeling like now you're really just tapping into that inner strength. You're really tapping into just that confident knowing that something is going to happen, and it's going to happen soon, and it's going to happen for the better. Now we have the Queen of Pentacles here also. Now this tells me that you've been really watching your money. Now this doesn't mean that you've necessarily been holding back on your spending. It's just that now you're a lot more aware and you're a lot more cautious of where your money is going, how your money is working for you, and how you can invest this money. Now you don't necessarily have to invest like, with stocks or something like that. You can also invest in other areas too, maybe on a smaller scale. Maybe you invest in a business that you have been considering for a while, or maybe you just invest in things that help you be more productive, or maybe you invest in maybe some tools and gadgets that help you save time. But I'm feeling like you're really just being a little bit more picky about how you spend your money, and that's a good thing because it shows that you are aware and that you are, like I said, very, very cautious about what you're doing with your money and how you're spending it. Now, you're going through some back and forth decision making here, and I'm feeling like this is a job for most of you. Some of you are debating whether or not you want to quit your job now, or if you're thinking about waiting till January. And I'm really feeling a lot of 2020 energy kind of coming into your thoughts as you start making decisions as we, move in towards the end of the year. Now, Taurus, I'm going to say that if you are thinking about something, you are right in the assessment of maybe putting it off until January, or maybe, a little later in the year. The timing is not exactly ideal, and we've got confirmation of that with this card here. So if you are thinking about making a decision as far as a job change, starting a brand new business, maybe making some type of a lateral move as it relates to your money and your finances, you are correct in the assumption that you should kind of hold off a little bit. Now, the workload has definitely gone up and down for you, Taurus. Here I see that you've kind of been overwhelmed recently, but things are starting to ease up. Again, I think it's all about that timing. You're just kind of in the slow cycle before things start to pick up for you. But it's not that the work is going to stop. It's just that right now this is just kind of a lull, okay? So if you are in like sales, or maybe if you have a product or something that you sell, things may be slowing down, but just know that it's only temporary. Now, I see the Six of Swords here, and this tells me that you're going to be moving away from something, or it could actually be you are taking a trip. But I'm feeling more like this is moving away, and I feel like it's related to this Two of Swords card here. So you're making a decision to move away from something, and you will move away from it. The question is when. You are thinking about maybe you should, like I said, change jobs, or relocate or something like that. The cards are definitely saying hold off on that. The timing is not ideal right now, and things are going to be a little bit better if you just kind of stay still for a minute and maybe just give yourself a little bit more time so things can be in a better position than where they are now. But let's see what else we need to know for the sign of Taurus as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance. For the month of October 2019, what do we need to know for the sign of Taurus as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance? For the month of October, 2019. I think I need about one more card for you, Taurus. Here we go. All right, Taurus. I do see some unexpected expenses coming up, so just be prepared for that. I do also see that You're going to be in a position to help someone, but you have to be careful that you don't overextend yourself, okay? However, the first thing that hit me was that you are going to have some unexpected expenses probably popping up in the middle of October, okay? So if you have a emergency fund, a savings account, if you budget, maybe put aside a little extra money because something's going to come up. It's not going to be catastrophic. Maybe you need a new car battery, or I don't know. It's going to be something random and unexpected. So, I'm just giving you a little heads up. Put some money aside for that. Now we have the Five of Swords here in reverse. We have the Seven of Pentacles upright. We also have the Five of Pentacles upright. Five of Wands in reverse and the Four of Wands upright. This is really good. Now what's interesting to me is you have 5, 5, and 5. Okay, so that could be your angelic message for October. The number 5 is very significant, and I find it interesting that when I tell you to kind of prepare towards the middle of the month for an unexpected expense, that's also kind of when we're seeing this 5-5-5 pattern. Now we have the Five of Swords here. This is a lot of heated conversations. This is discussions and you really actually having to take the time to defend yourself sometimes. Sometimes you really have to over explain to people because they just don't get it. They don't think the same way as you do, Taurus, and sometimes people are they're just not jiving. They're just not jiving with your energy. So, kind of be on the lookout for that because it's going to definitely affect your outlook, especially at work and in business. Now we have the Seven of Pentacles here. This tells me that work is going to start picking back up as we move towards that second and third week of October. Like I said, you went through a temporary slowdown here, but the work is coming and the money is coming as well. Okay, you're going to be getting more sales, more orders, more plans for people to work with you. So just be on the lookout for that you are going to have an upswing as it comes to workflow and cash flow. Now we have the Five of Pentacles here. This is in the upright position, and this is kind of what I was talking about earlier about not overextending yourself. You are in a position to help a lot of people, and people do see you as very generous, very giving, very caring, and people also kind of tend to come to you with their problems and with their issues. Be very, very careful with that. Be very guarded with your time and your your money especially. Like I said, not that you don't want to help. It's just that sometimes you can be a little bit overly generous, and people sometimes will use that to their advantage. Now we also have the Five of Wands. Again, another 5. We also want to talk about the Five of Wands is groups, right? And it's the Five of Wands is also about a lot of opinions are going to be coming at you. So if you're trying to make a decision about something, you're going to have to really take into consideration the source of the information that you're getting. Now, because this is in the reverse position, this doesn't necessarily mean that all the information you're getting is going to be for your highest good. It's not that people are trying to hurt you. It's just that they're speaking from their own perspective. They're speaking from their own benefit. So when you're trying to make a decision and you're trying to gather information, just really, really assess all the details and the data that you're getting, because you are going to have to deal with lots of opinions, lots of judgment, and lots of input. And again, the sources of where all this is coming from may or may not necessarily align with what you're trying to do and what your goals are. Now, the good thing about the middle of October is that you're going to be in a position to celebrate. There's going to be some type of a celebration coming along. Now, this is also the wedding card. So it could be an engagement. It could be an actual wedding. The 4 is also the card of stability. So this could mean that, things finally fall into place, which I'm leaning more towards that because this fell onto that 8 of Wands and this was the slowdown card. So things probably are starting to take shape and starting to solidify for you, and things are starting to move and really be secure, you know, with whatever it is that you're working on, either a job, a business, or maybe some type of a plan with your money. All right, Taurus, let's get some clarification and see what else we need to know for the sign of Taurus as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of October 2019. What do we need to know for the sign of Taurus as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of October 2019? Interesting. You're getting a lot of repeater cards, Taurus. All right, what else do we need to know for the sign of Taurus? I need one more card, please. One more card for Taurus. As it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of October 2019. Okay. So we have the Six of Swords here in reverse, and remember, we saw him up here. Okay, so you're definitely going to be moving away from something. It's just a question of when. Now, you could have what I would consider kind of a false start, probably the 3rd or 4th week of October, where you say, okay, yes, I'm going to make this decision, but then something happens, things change, the dynamics change of the situation, and you say, I think I'm going to hold off on that, okay? So as far as you making a change as it relates to moving away from something, you are going to do that. However, you're just going to have to, you're going to see that there's going to be things that don't make it easy for you, okay? You make the decision and then something gets in the way. Or you don't make the decision and then you realize, oh, maybe I should have made that decision. Okay, so you're just going to have to kind of see what shows up as far as the details and as far as how you're going to play this out. Because I'm seeing a lot of, it's almost like things are just kind of going back and forth, up and down, all around. And it's like you can't make a decision because the circumstances keep changing. Now, we also have the Five of Pentacles. Now, remember, we saw the Five of Pentacles here about you being overly generous, maybe kind of overextending yourself in some way. Be very careful with that because it looks like that kind of, it could be a pattern for you, Taurus. And the fact that this showed up twice and that this card is touching this card tells me that you're going to have to be very careful. Don't allow yourself to be manipulated or kind of misled into thinking that you're helping someone, but really it's not, and that's no reflection on you, but it's about how they're presenting the situation and how it's making you feel and how you want to help. However, be very, very careful, because I also see the Six of Pentacles right next to that. And this is the generosity card. But when it's in the reverse, it's almost like when you're being overly generous. And like I said, you're overextending yourself. Be very careful because that could put you in a little bit of a financial bind. Now we have the Ten of Pentacles here. This is all about group work, group projects, collaborations, and things just kind of coming together in a really good way. And because this fell onto this Four of Wands here, I'm thinking that there's going to be some type of a group project that you get involved with. And because I see the World card in the reverse position, this tells me that it's incomplete in some way. Now, the World card is all about completion. When it shows up in the reverse, that is incomplete. That is undone, unfinished. So I do see some type of a project, some type of something going on, some type of a group collaboration or something. However, it's not going to be finished in October, right? So you guys could probably start this project together and then, you're going to have to keep working on it because something is still undone. All right, so what else do we need to know for the sign of Taurus as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of October 2019? What do we need to know for the sign of Taurus as it relates to their money, their finances, their prosperity for the month of October 2019? Okay, now things kind of go up and down throughout the month, but the end of October is going to be very strong. I feel like I need one more card. I want one more card, please, for Taurus as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for October 2019. All right, so October is going to end pretty strong for you. Taurus, we've got Justice here. We also have the Chariot. Page of Swords, this is information coming in. This is digital information, information through the airwaves, so to speak. And then we have the Eight of Cups in the reverse. Now, again, this is that back and forth decision of walking away. No, I'm going to stay. No, I'm going to do this. So you're still going to have some, you're going to have a little bit of, I don't want to say confusion, but you're just not totally 100% sure when it comes to that decision, that decision to either leave, stay, go, or do something different. But let's look at Justice and the Chariot here. Now, this is really good because decisions are definitely being made in your favor, and it's definitely going to give you kind of that momentum that you need to really move forward and to really be profitable. Now, look for that message. This is going to come probably in that fourth week or, towards the end of October. And it's really going to set you up on the right path, in the right direction. Like I said, decisions are being made in your favor, and you're really going to get a lot of momentum. You're going to get a lot of clarity, and you're going to really decide, okay, this is what I want to do. However, there's still going to be some things that are just kind of murky, some things that just kind of hinder the process. It's almost like, Taurus, you know what you want to do, but the environment is just not lining up with it just yet. Okay, and I think that's just going to be some timing. Because so many of you are asking about 2020, I'm feeling like, it's just a kind of wait and see thing that you're going to have to deal with right now, Taurus. It's not that you don't have the answers. It's just that you don't have the time frame. And sometimes when we don't have the timing perfectly mapped out, and remember, we can't control the timing either. But sometimes when we don't have the timing perfectly mapped out, it's really hard to feel secure in the decisions that we're making. And that's kind of what I'm feeling with you, Taurus, is that you know what you want to do, but you're just kind of worried if the timing is good and if the timing will be good as you follow through with that decision. So overall, Taurus, it's going to be a pretty stable month. I do feel, like I said, that decision is kind of going to be the main thing that kind of hangs over you for October. And be on the lookout for 555. I think that's going to be your angel numbers for the month of October as well. So let's go ahead and end your reading with a Halloween Oracle card. These cards are so big, sometimes I have a hard time shuffling them. Okay. This is Apple, risk and reward, and I hope you can see that. Now, I feel like this, again, really confirms what we were talking about. It's about that decision where you're just not entirely sure if the timing is right, if things are going to flow, if things are going to fall into place, if it's all going to work out. And I guess the Apple card is telling us that that's part of life. You know, you take risks in order to get a reward. Sometimes the rewards are huge, sometimes not so much. But I think that's just part of everyday life that we all have to go through. But I think for you, Taurus, it's just a little bit more, you're a little bit more sensitive for October. And so it's really affecting you on so many levels. And that could be why you're feeling this way. You're feeling a little anxious about it. But just trust that everything's going to work out, and that no matter what happens, things will get clearer as time moves forward. So Taurus, I hope this was helpful. I hope this has given you some insight and some clarity into the month of October as it relates to your money, your finances, your prosperity, and your abundance. I want to thank you so much for choosing to spend this time with me. If you do want a private reading, that information is down in the description below. All right, thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I'll see you again soon.